Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So we all know that exercise is good for us, right? It's great for our hearts, our muscles, and we've been told it's crucial for a healthy mind. But have you ever stopped to wonder why? What is it about a hard workout that actually makes a difference at a biological level? These questions led me to the extremes of scientific research, where I spent months concocting the perfect exercise replacement. An injection that would give me the results of 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run for 100 days with just one needle. I'm just messing with you. I didn't do that. But there are researchers who have. Kind of. Well, let's just get into it. Scientists have been interested in a particular hormone called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, since it was first isolated from a pig in 1982. Since then, it's been a well-established member of the neurotrophin family. Think of BDNF as a kind of super fertilizer for your nerve cells. When you exercise, especially at a high intensity, your body produces a lot of something called lactate. That's the same stuff that makes your muscles burn. For a while, researchers had an idea that this lactate might be a key trigger for releasing BDNF. Marcus Moberg, the senior author of the study we're diving into, said brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, is a key mediator of neuroplasticity and responsive to acute physical exercise, providing a link between exercise and brain health. Lactate, a metabolite related to exercise, has been proposed as a potential mediator of the BDNF exercise response. However, lactate's role in isolation has not yet been determined. So here's the thing, during exercise, a million things are happening at once. Your heart rate is up, your breathing is heavy. So is this because of the lactate itself, or is this because of everything combined? That's the question a team of researchers at the Swedish School of Sports and Health Sciences in Stockholm set out to answer. What if we could isolate just the lactate? What if we could give people the lactate without the exercise? Would we see the same beneficial changes? So that's exactly what they did. They recruited a group of healthy young volunteers and designed a really cool experiment. Researchers used an IV infusion, a simple drip, to slowly put either a sodium lactate solution or a plain saline solution as a placebo directly into the participants' bloodstreams. This went on for about an hour. Keep in mind, zero exercise is being done here. Then they took blood samples throughout the process, even taking tiny biopsies from leg muscle to see what was happening at the source. They were tracking two main things, the levels of lactase of course, but also the levels of BDNF. But before we go on here, we have to get deeper into the weeds here. BDNF is a bit more complicated than we often hear. So BDNF isn't just one molecule. It comes in different forms. There's a precursor called pro-BDNF. Then there's the mature active form, which we'll call mBDNF. What's crazy is that these two forms can have almost the opposite effect in the body. Pro-BDNF is a precursor protein that often inhibits synaptic plasticity, neuronal survival, and neurogenesis, where mBDNF does the opposite. It's a delicate balance. And with that in mind, let's go ahead and look at what they found. First and foremost, the lactate infusion worked perfectly. It raised the blood lactate levels to what you'd see during a solid high-intensity workout. The lactate infusion did cause a significant and sustained increase in circulating pro-BDNF, the precursor form in the blood. But here's the twist. The levels of mature active BDNF, mBDNF, did not change. The lactate drip boosted the precursor, but not the final product. This is still interesting because it changes our perspective on lactate. I remember learning in my first biology course that lactate was a waste byproduct of anaerobic exercise, and for the most part, we just kind of left it at that. But this paints a bigger picture. This study shows us that lactate is more than just a waste byproduct. It's an active signaling molecule. It shows us clearly for the first time in humans that lactate on its own can actually directly influence the BDNF system. So, as much as I hate to break it to you, The conclusion here is that lactate can partially mimic exercise. It does successfully trigger the release of pro-BDNF into circulation, probably getting it ready to use somewhere else in the body, but it doesn't complete the conversion to the mature form on its own. Exercise is still a more complex and, you could say, complete process. So the answer to your question, no, you shouldn't run out and get a lactate IV instead of going for an actual run. Push-ups and pull-ups are here to stay. The researcher's actual suggestion is to get those lactate levels up in a natural way, which means incorporating some high-intensity exercise a couple times a week. It's about exposing your system to the beneficial lactate surge for a long-term health benefit. But not all hope is lost. Research, when done right, will always open up a world of scientific possibilities and questions for future research. Questions like, where is this pro-BDNF coming from in the first place? And what can we do to turn that into m-BDNF? How can we harness this knowledge for those who physically can't exercise? And this is what makes research pretty cool. It's taking something we all know, like exercise is good, and reveals the mechanics that makes it so, the molecules involved, and the reactions they partake in. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think we'll ever find the true workout serum? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.